Fam, let's keep it 100. Imagine this. You just copped the sleekest piece of tech out right now. Apple's new M4 Mac Mini. It's small, it's powerful, it's doing things no desktop's ever done before. You're hype, right? Then boom! You're fumbling around like you're playing Twister, trying to figure out where the heck the power button is. And when you finally find it, it's chilling under the base of the computer, on the bottom. For real, Apple? Who does that? But here's the thing, Apple does that. And trust me, it ain't by accident. Oh no, this ain't just a quirky design choice. This is classic Apple marketing at its finest. They knew exactly what they were doing when they put that power button in the most inconvenient spot possible. Because guess what? You, me, and everybody else, we're all out here talking about it. Tweets, memes, reels, the internet is buzzing. And in Apple's world, controversy equals cash. Let's unpack this masterpiece of marketing manipulation. Now, let's not act brand new. Apple's been doing this funky but iconic design thing forever. Remember when they put the charging port on the bottom of the Magic Mouse? Yeah, the mouse you can't use while it's charging. Or how about the iPhone's notch? People clowned it for months, but guess who still bought the phone? United States. Apple's strategy has always been about turning heads, even if it means turning them in frustration. So, when the Mac Mini's redesign was due, you better believe that design team sat in their spaceship-shaped campus brainstorming how to get people talking. Enter the power button placement, a move so subtle yet so disruptive, it practically guaranteed virality. It's like they asked, what's the smallest thing we can do to make the biggest splash? The psychology of the talk. Here's the science behind it. Human beings are wired to notice things that disrupt their expectations. You expect the power button to be on the front or the back, right? When it's not, it creates a tiny jolt of confusion, maybe even frustration. And what do we do when something annoys us in 2025? We take it to the internet. Think about it. The first time someone flipped the Mac Mini upside down and saw the power button, they probably thought, wait, what? And the next thing they did? Took a picture, slapped on a caption like, Apple's wildin' again, and hit post on X or Instagram. That's free publicity, baby. Apple didn't even have to spend a dime. And the more people see those posts, the more curious they get. That's suddenly even folks who weren't thinking about the Mac Mini are Googling it. That's the power of word-of-mouth marketing in the digital age. Apple's social media playbook. You know Apple's got their ear to the streets, or the social feeds in this case. They're watching all those viral posts like hawks, the memes, the jokes, the debates about whether the power button placement is genius or straight up dumb. They're eating it up. Because here's the secret. Every tweet, every meme, every reel adds to the Mac Mini story, and stories sell products. Think about the phrase, all press is good press. Apple's mastered that. When they design something controversial, they're not thinking about the few people who'll be genuinely annoyed. They're thinking about the millions who'll be intrigued enough to check it out. And once they're looking, boom, another sale. The memes. Oh, the memes. Apple's trying to keep us humble, making us flip our fancy computer like a pancake just to turn it on. Or the power buttons on the bottom, because Apple knows we'll always bow to their genius. These jokes spread like wildfire. And you know what happens next? People who didn't even know the Mac Mini existed are now asking, wait, why is everybody roasting this thing? Even tech reviewers got in on it. YouTube tech channels started dropping videos with titles like Apple's power button failed, or why the Mac Mini's power button makes 0 sense. But guess what? Every one of those videos is just another ad for Apple. Even when they're critiquing the product, they're still showing it off. The marketing strategy? Now, let's address the big question. Did Apple really do this on purpose? Short answer, absolutely. Apple's design team doesn't sneeze without thinking about how it'll affect their bottom line. They've got some of the brightest minds in tech and marketing working together. You think they just forgot that people like their power buttons easy to access? Nah, this was a calculated move. Apple's all about creating experiences, even the frustrating ones. Why? Because those experiences stick with you. You'll forget about the Mac Mini specs in a year, but you'll remember the time you flipped it upside down, found the power button, and thought, man, Apple's something else. And when you remember it, you're more likely to talk about it. See how the cycle works? Let's talk stats. After the Mac Mini's release, social media mentions of the product spiked by over 300% compared to the previous model. Hashtags like Mac Mini Power Button and Apple did it again started trending. And you know what happened next? Sales soared. Apple doesn't release exact figures, but industry analysts reported a noticeable uptick in Mac Mini purchases right after the memes took off. Why? Because people love to be in on the joke. Buying the Mac Mini wasn't just about owning a new computer, it was about being part of the cultural moment. And that's where Apple's real genius lies. Now, Apple's not the only company that can pull off a stunt like this, but they're one of the few that can do it so effortlessly. Other brands can learn a thing or two though. The key is to create a product that's not just functional, but also conversation worthy. And if that means adding a little controversy, so be it. Think about it. Tesla's Cybertruck got dragged for looking like a PS1 graphic, but it's still one of the most talked about vehicles in years. Same principle. People love talking about things that surprise or confuse them, even if it's just to roast them. So what's the takeaway here? Apple's power button placement on the Mac Mini might seem like a minor design quirk, but it's actually a major marketing win. By breaking expectations, they got the world talking. And in a world where attention is the most valuable currency, that's priceless. Next time you flip your Mac Mini over to turn it on, just remember, you're part of the plan. Apple knew you talk about it, and they're cashing in on every conversation. Gotta hand it to them. They played us, and we love it. Hit that like button, fam, and let me know in the comments, do you think Apple's a marketing genius or just trolling us out? Peace out.